Don't you just love springtime?
You... No idea what you're...
Fear.
Don't you just love springtime?
Degenerate mind.
Yeah? Prove it. No idea what you... No idea what you're talking about. I suppose you're right. I think I have seen that plaque. Sorry I lied. Can't be too careful these days. Head into the caves behind the theater. Turn right, then right again. Oh, and here. You'll need this key. You didn't get that from me. See you around.
I love your clothes. So
Fortune
exotic.
smile on you, brother.
What is it, citizen? I'm a legionary of the 1st Italica, but there's no... I act as the magistrate's right-hand man, keeping an eye on his daughters. I also keep a register of... I'm from Liguria, up north originally. I was doing all right for myself. Not anymore. She's probably figured I'm long... My commander sent me to deliver a message to Rome. While I was there, I thought I'd do so. That's when the crowd started flooding through the streets, shouting. Then some Genetricum fugitor tried to take advantage of the chaos and pinch my pendant. I remember chasing him through the crowds. Blacked out and woke up near here. No idea how I ended up floating so far downriver. But... don't be. As Seneca the Younger said, difficulty strengthens the mind, as labor does the body. That said, Sentilla's disappearance has been more difficult than I'd care to admit. He's one of the better commanders I've ever had, that's for sure. Good stoic. Lives by Seneca's words. Treat your inferior as you would wish your superior to treat you. Can't ask for much more than that. I went around asking the same questions when I first arrived. Never did find a way out. But I learned how to accept my situation. To bear trials with a calm mind robs misfortune of its strength and burden. That's from Seneca the Younger, if you're interested. I don't see why not. Just make sure I get... Of course. Well, as I always say, by threatening to execute 1 in 10 men, the idea if you knew you could be executed because your brother-in-arms is planning because your only chance of saving yourself is to stop bad things. It's brutal, of course, but effective. What's done is done. I was forced to execute my brothers-in-arms, and those memories will always visit me in my sleep. As with the Golden Rule, I don't have any control over it. So railing against it, as Seneca the Younger wrote, true happiness is to enjoy the present, but to rest satisfied with what we have. If... Not that it's any of your business. Unfortunately, see, Domitius has been going around town, shoring up votes for Malleolus with lies, bribery. The man's a savage. But he's a gladiator. Sentius knows about it, of course. But he doesn't have the same right. This place will be different with that sleaze at the helm. I appreciate the thought. But you're new here. And I just can't see how you could... In any case, if you're interested in the election, go and have a chat with Equitia. What? Absolutely not. All right? Don't you
Citizens
even
love
have to
springtime.
would you?
Ah, you again. No idea what you're talking. Look, I haven't been at... It's the rheumatism. It starts with constant pain in all your... I know that's not an excuse for how I acted. I'll leave him alone from now on. It's not as if I was ever going to hurt him. I'm going to go and clean up the graffiti. Just forget this ever happened.
A new face. Salve. What demon or spirit told you about that? You went snooping in his place? That was risky. We're lucky you didn't cross any lines. Have you spoken to him about it? Really? How did you manage that? Poor fellow. I've heard that can really mess with a person's head. Really? That's promising. Well, Malleolus is talking about loosening some of the restrictions in this... My vote isn't for set. Nice to talk to you. Sometimes I stare at the great temple on the bluff.
Hello again, my son. And in a city full of Romans, you are asking me? Because I am Greek. Let me tell you, my name is Georgios, yes. But the Romans, they do not care. They hear me say Georgios, and they think, he must be... They do this all the time. They see us worshipping Zeus, they copy us, but call him Jupiter. They take Hades, and I am flattered that they copy our ideas, but why must they change the names? At first, I pull my hair out. After a while, I give up, and I become Georgios the Roman. I accept the world is Roman, but my point is this. If you want to know who stole an old Greek, the plague you seek was pilfered from a collection of old Greek relics by none other than Duli. He cannot help it. Like a typical Roman, he likes, and besides, it makes him happy. So I say, let him keep it. I believe he still has it with him. That, my friend, is quite the dilemma. But after some reflection, I do not enjoy the thought of another visit. Nothing. I hope.
Domitius doesn't usually let anyone in here without a hefty tribute, so you must have been desperate to see me. Well, what do you want? Look, if I had a Roman plaque in my possession, My name is Marcus Malleolus Gurgis. You seem to have confused me with someone else. You mean my heterochromia? And I'm hardly the only person with the I like to think it is simply the way the gods have... Well, I am not suffering from any delusions, as... Unlikely, because it simply isn't true. Are you insane? You barge... Why would I withdraw? Don't talk nonsense. How could you possibly know that? Nonsense! This is nonsense! I don't know how you know about my plans, but I'm absolutely... And now, I'm going to enjoy watching... Now, get out of here! Get out of my
That's quite an impressive bow you have there.
Greetings and salutations.
you doing here? Please leave.
As agreed, we shall dispense with ballots, and candidates will abstain from voting. Let's make this quick. As I say your name, call your vote. I'll start with you, Horatius.
Sentius, of course.
Georgius.
Malleolus!
Dacius.
Malleolus.
Galerius.
I abstain. I'm just here to observe.
Virgil.
Malleolus.
Rufius.
Sentius.
And finally, Domitius.
Malleolus. Who else?
Citizens, you have made your decision. Your new magistrate is...
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Domitius doesn't use... I trust you.
How come you're allowed a weapon and I'm not?
That's quite an impressive bow you have there. Just like Diana's.
I hope you're taking care of yourself. Today is a sad day.
Hello. Do you like it? It's shiny. But well, if you get me out... Galerius already tried that. Like, Galerius? He's nice. Yeah, Galerius will let me out. Go. Bye-bye.
Citizens, it is time. Let us meet to elect our magistrate.
It's time!
Здравствуйте, Игорь. Как Форза? Ну ладно.
You have made your decision. Your new magistrate is Marcus Malleolus Gurges.
Hail, Magistrate Malleolus.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Ну, я скрижали сейчас собираю. Надо на выборы повлиять.
Salve, friend.
О, прикольно.
All right, let me see. Stop Fabia going in, but send the new arrival to the empty shrine. Understood. Poor Virgil. Poor Rufius too, I guess. All right, got it. Yulia? Oh no. All right, I can do that. I'll go, but once I'm done, I'll need you to tell me how you...
Прикольно. Я уж думал, бегать каждый раз придется. Я сейчас могу дать денег суициднику. Все классно будет. Больше ведь они мне ни для чего не нужны.
Welcome. Ah, are you? All right. Well.
I can't believe this is how it ends.
Oh no.
Сплетни.
No, 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 no. Orpheus, what are you doing? Get back from there.
That's the.
What?
Why do you think?
I know. Please.
I'm sorry.
Please help him. Thank you.
You know about that? How is that? Well, you don't understand. If I back... Oh, really? But we're still in debt bondage to that monster. Yulia and I are in debt bondage to Malleolus. So... Really? Wait. So, I guess you'd want me to work for you then? You'd do that for us? A couple of complete strangers? It seems today we are both blessed. Thank you, friend.
Ну всем помогу, всем. Блин, потерял 2000, то есть в следующих циклах мне лучше не доходить до этого.
I'll go and take care of things with Malleolus and tell Yulia the good news. Thanks again, Fred.
И теперь с ним хоть поговорить можно. Или нельзя?
Citizen.
Welcome.
Yulia! I'm so glad you didn't go through with it.
It wasn't for lack of trying. And now Malleolus is going to... Wait. Why do you look so happy?
We're free. Malleolus just released us and we never have to set foot in that villa again.
What? How?
The newcomer arranged it somehow.
Really? That's... incredible. Oh, what a relief. I don't know what to say.
You don't need to say anything. Just rest up, get your strength back, and we'll celebrate properly when you're ready.
I will. Thank you, Ulpius. I will.
Так, и что? Чего я добился?
Welcome.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Scintilla and I were in love. And then... All right. One night a few months ago, when I was cleaning Malleolus's villa, I heard I wasn't allowed out. So once everyone else was asleep, and that's when I saw her. I just sat there on the roof, listening to her with my and then she looked up and saw me and from the moment she asked my name with this warmth and curiosity, I knew I'd have done anything. And so for weeks on end, each night we'd hold hands and talk about all the things we'd do once we got out of here. And then one morning I woke up and everyone was out searching for her. They said she'd vanished in the night. All I could do was keep my head down and try to hide how beside myself I was. All I know is she loved me. And if she had known, she'd never have taken her own life. I can't prove it, but I just know she's still alive somehow. Even now, it's as if I can hear her voice. Somebody abducted her. I have no idea how or who would. My guess? Malleolus had something to do. I have no idea where he'd be keeping her, but there is. I've never seen the inside of it, and I haven't been able to steal a key without breaking. But I have a feeling that if you could get in there somehow, let me know what you decide.
Так, ну хоть что-то. Но я еще не все у него спросил.
Shalom. You mean where am I from? But when I was a child, I moved to Rome with my family. That's where I was when the fires broke out. Everyone was running toward. Every road leading out of Rome was in chaos. Several hours down the Appian Way, I saw another Jewish family being attacked by 3 opportunists. I can only assume they got the better of me because the next thing I knew, it's strange though because I still had my purse on me. Why would... A lot of good it did me. And that family. I don't. But even... Well, neither of us have a couple of hours to stand around talking about... Obliging, of course. Thanks. Sentius, I suppose. I'd have to be... All right.
Так. Теперь я тут придурок.
Whatever's in that great temple up there on the bluff. Hello there, friend. May I say, that is a glory... Well, I'll take your word for it. But perhaps you'd be interested in selling... Oh well, let Let me know if you change your mind. Malleolus. I mean, Sentius couldn't even keep his door. No. You mean, how did I end up here? All right. Well, you see, mostly sculptures, vases. Had myself a nice little shop in Rome, just off the Forum. Lots of foot traffic. See, about 7 months ago, half of Rome caught on fire. So all the way down to the river, I'm elbowing for a stampede of people, turning back now and then to make sure she hasn't legged it with my valet. But, to my surprise, we make it. And I see this barge loading up, and it's so... But the captain's happy to take my coin. So I start boarding, and then he puts his hand on my chest and he's... No, too heavy. The cart or the girl? The girl? Weren't you listening? I mean, I can always buy a new slave girl. So I put my hand on the cart, and I guess she realised what was happening because those pretty black eyes of hers go, and in one swift motion, she topples the whole bloody thing in. No, I dived in after it, of course. Aren't you paying attention? That was a blood... Only, I guess I must have hit my head or something, because when I came to, I'd washed up on the riverbank, not far from here, with nothing in the world but a single silver coin. Thank you, friend. But it turns out it might have been a stroke of good fortune. Look around you. There must be more gold in here than in the... Very well. Hey, Virgil. How much would you want to make me a bow?
For the last time, Dacius, I'm not making you a bow.
But why?
You know why.
But how am I going to defend myself against someone else with a weapon?
There are no other weapons in the city. We all went along with the magistrate's weapons ban, so it wouldn't be an issue.
That's why I've got to get in first before someone else beats me to it. Hello there, friend. May I say? Are you well, stranger? It's terrible for inflation is what it is. I'm afraid some people here are a little shady for my liking. I'm afraid not. Some people here are a little... Oh yeah, gotta watch out. I'll... Very well.
Так, а как выйти на этот же диалог? Видимо, никак.
Ah, a fellow traveler from a faraway land.
Isn't the great temple majestic?
How come you're allowed a weapon and I'm not? Malleolus isn't receiving. When Malleolus wins the election, yeah, this place will change. You won't even want to leave.
Ну, диалог, чтобы квест с золотым луком начать. Типа он... Ну, короче... Чтобы он там золото захотел, типа и статуэтки поделать. У меня же яйца золотые гусиные, я бы их ему, наверное, отдал.
Malleolus, of course. If old man... Whatever.
Да я взял, но это не помогло.
My first act as magistrate, I hereby announce
Как это? А кто это?
You're not supposed to be in here. Talk. What business could you possibly have with me? My marital affairs are no concern of yours. Thank you very much. I think a better question is, why am I being interrogated by a stranger who just barged into my villa? I have quite enough marriage trouble already, without having to explain to my husband why I am receiving strange men in private. Fine. This is outrageous.
Перезапуск хранится. Проблемка. Так. Где я? Далековато, блин.
I'm not making you a bow.
But why?
You know why.
Citizen.
Isn't the great temple majestic?
Thank you.
Так.
Thank you. I am delighted and deeply honored to have been elected.
А, это забрать нельзя. Ну ладно.
And now I make this
I'm not. Talk. My marriage. I think a better question is, I have quite enough marriage. Preferably the way you came in. I think it's about to be broken if you don't hurry.
Ну ты и гадость, конечно.
This is outrageous.
Так. И ничего полезного. А кое-что есть. Вау! Так. Ну ладно, воровать нельзя.
Domitius doesn't usually let any. My name is Marcus Malleolus. Well, unlikely, because it's simple. You fool.
The many shall suffer for the
А что,
sins of
угроза
the
это тоже... Ой. Интересно, а если я вот этого чела сейчас озолочу? Я ж парадокс тогда какой-нибудь создам. По идее. Так. Опа. Блин, я, получается, 2000 впустую потерял на этого, на выкуп чувачка.
Salve. Well,
Так.
you? All right. But how did you? All right, of course. Oh,
Так. Мне остается... Я умру? Повезло. Подожди, это что за дрянь? Это не то. Где он? Чего? А как экипировать? О. Да? Ну-ка. Да, правда. Повезло. Кому пушка достается?
How'd you do?
Нифига. Так он реально будет бегать все это делать? Так. Да опять это... Хе-хе-хе. Такс. Что мне тут надо сделать? А, с этим понял.
Cerberus lifts his triple head and lets out his threefold braying.
Livia, would you stop muttering like Medea over a cauldron? You'll scare away my customers.
They follow their trades, imitating their previous lives, but they are ignorant.
This again. You're in a world of your own, aren't you?
Just as the ocean but it does not say it. I had he gave. There is the and now we.
Ничего нового.
Vote for Malleolus. Oh, you're here. And I hope I'm not being... I can tell from...
Сдох.
How dare you? Get away from me, you...
А, вроде вылечилась.
Oh, do us all a favor and drink...
Эх. Я же должен был у нее Ой. Подожди. 17:00. Это сейчас? Не, лаги были, а сейчас вроде нормально. Ну, сейчас опять должны быть лаги. Не, короче, странная игра какая-то, она что-то грузит комп как-то. Только с ней такие беды. Так. Так.
Handsome. Oh, and I could... Oh, This... Not for a few weeks now. Last time I saw him, he was sitting
Ну,
at a
это из-за
table
стрима,
with
скорее всего.
Georges, whispering about some job. I remember because they kept looking over their shoulders as if they didn't want anyone else to know. So, naturally, I hovered. The one word I kept hearing was vanishing. And then, the next day, Kabash just disappeared. Coincidence? I think not.
Странно, что она бесплатно мне это рассказала. Эх, вот бы, да, вот бы уметь двигать статуи.
That's incredible. Oh,
Wonder how much one of these statues is worth on the outside.
Greetings and salutations. Greetings. I'm Georgius. My friend, your words intrigue me more and more, but... Ah, I knew this day would come. I do not wish to lie. Please, let us live the life. Very well, but the magistrate would not look kindly upon this. For several months now, I have been sneaking out at night to worship the gods of my ancestors in the temple of Demeter. Each day, I leave offerings of food in the hope that we may have a bountiful harvest, and yet the offering, it is symbolic, you see. It is never eaten. So I ask, who or what is devouring the food in this temple? Stranger still. Once I sat in front of my shop like the 100-eyed Argus until dawn to see if I could spot a thief going in. But do you know what I saw? Nothing! Nobody entered. And yet when I went to take a look, my offering was gone. It is bizarre, is it not? When I told my friend Kabash of this at the tavern, he offered to help investigate. He went in, and to my dismay, he was never seen again. It is the only Greek temple in the city. Head towards the baths, and it is the last building on your right. I do not think you should pursue this, my friend. It would break my... But you do not strike me as a kind of person to be deterred by...
Salve.
Ну, тут я тоже еще не был. Ну, повезло. Ну, как повезло, что ты тут делать-то мог? А, все, что ли? Тоже мне же скрижаль надо найти. Нет? Это она.
Ah, a visitor. Welcome, welcome. It's a sincere pleasure. Tell me. Ah, yes, that cursed thing. I will tell you everything I know, but first, a request. The one thing I long for above all else before I die is a good philosophical argument with somebody astute. I'm hoping that person is you. Let us find out with this simple question. Have you deduced the name of the god responsible for the Golden Rule? Excellent. I see you are indeed quite astute. Very few come to that realization, but now, will you join me in a friendly Socratic dialogue?
Да.
Wonderful. Then let me be. Would you say you know the difference between right and wrong? And to what extent? In every situation? So, you're not entirely confident. That is quite sensible. Indeed, I'm reminded of something Socrates once said. To paraphrase, better to know that you know nothing than to know nothing and think that you know.
Ё-моё,
It
нихуя
is because
себе.
knowledgeable people have learned
По-моему, там
enough to
попроще
know they
звучало.
know very little. In the broader scheme of things, you see, out there in the world, being uncertain about right and wrong was acceptable because our mistakes rarely had consequences. So we would tell lies and bend rules and turn a blind eye and rationalize, and yet still find a way to think of ourselves as good people. But under the Golden Rule, morality matters. The slightest wrongdoing could result in a mass execution. So to navigate this maze, we would have to be certain about the difference between right and wrong. Wouldn't you agree? That is an excellent question, and it leads directly to my next line of inquiry. So let me ask you this. Is there one system of morality which is always perfectly correct, which you could follow in every situation and always do the right thing?
Здесь мне, чтобы ответить, приходится перечитывать эту муть.
Are you sure? Or is it possible that humans simply haven't figured out the right system yet? After hundreds of years, and as many great thinkers dedicating their lives to these questions, what hope do we have if our best and brightest haven't been able to answer them? Good. Never discourage anyone who continually makes progress, no matter how slow. Would you say you know the difference between and to what extent? So, that is quite simple. I'm reminded better to know it is because you see, so we, but under the, so to now, that isn't, so let, are you sure? So is it up to each of us to decide what right and wrong mean to us individually? Or must we simply follow the laws and customs of whichever community we're in? You know, I think you'd find an ally in Herodotus, a scribe from among my people who lived some 400 years ago. He told the story of a man named Darius, whose curiosity was piqued when he learned that a certain tribe, he asked some Greeks who burnt their dead, what
would it take for you to eat your dead? Aghast, they replied. Then he asked the tribe who ate their dead, what would it take for you to burn your dead? From this, Herodotus concluded that custom is king, that right and wrong are mere. I take it you're in a... Then let me ask you this. If you visited a tribe where they ate each other, copulated with the dead, and drank wine from cups made out of human skulls, would you still maintain that within such a tribe there is nothing wrong with such conduct? And that's a credit to you. It is the mark of a civilized person to change their position when presented with a superior argument. My point is this. I don't think anyone alive truly knows any hard and fast rules about right and wrong. Surely you would agree there are circumstances where an exception may be made. For any rule, you can imagine there are countless situations in which that rule may be suspended, and those situations are impossible to codify. If there is one thing I have observed about rules, it is that virtuous people do not need them, and so we must accept our limitations, and the sad truth that no human society... In mathematics, we would call it an asymptote, a line that can be approached but never reached. Because the only way to create a utopia is with the ever-present threat of force, such as the Golden Rule. This and no other is the root from which a tyrant springs when he first appears, and life under tyranny is no utopia at all.
Какой же он умный, нахуй, я просто в шоке.
I'm glad to hear that. In any case, thank you for humoring an old man. I would be happy to answer your questions. You mean, how did I end up living alone in this cave with nothing but these... I was a quarrelsome young man. At 19, I left Corinth for Rome to study rhetoric at one of her finest academies, so I could argue more forcefully. Back then, I used to enjoy verbally sparring with everyone I could, and I was good. One night, it became heated, he drew a gladius, and I won the argument. I woke up on the banks of the Styx at a campfire opposite Charon. Of course, I tried to persuade her to let me return, but even with all my... I settled in, made friends, and learned what I could, quickly realizing our little commute. So I began looking for a place to hide underground. Fortunately, I found this place. I returned to my friends above, persuaded them to join me, and 12 of us descended for the last time to live up. They are one and the same. The Romans call him Pluto. My generation was wiped out, turned to gold, many years ago. I think it's safest to assume that if I was to return, Hades would realize that his furies hadn't finished the job. And I fear that if you were to utter my name in the city, even by mistake, that I'm afraid I am the only one left. There were some from malnutrition. It has been lonely. Before my unexpected visit from Kabash some weeks ago. Living in darkness is not without its challenges. The first challenge is diet. And sometimes, when there are Greek people living up above, I surface at night and salvage the offerings they've left in the temple of Demeter. The greater challenge is the isolation, so I like to imagine arguments. Like so many things in life, argument as you wish. Ha! If I... Did we not discuss it at length already? You seek the plaque bearing the... It is a cursed object, and I would be happy. I will tell you, but you may find him hostile. To prepare for you, very few know this, but before the Romans came to this city, it was once entirely Greek. When the Romans came, in typical fashion, they claimed it as their own, built over everything that could be built over. Thus, the shrine of Persephone became the shrine, and when they found an obelisk bearing the name Hades, They tore it off and replaced it with Pluto instead. And the city's dwindling Greek residents, witnessing this compulsive Roman conquest, decided to preserve what they could of their heritage. They gathered their art and valuables, secreted them away through the Temple of Demeter. However, there was one thing that always seemed out of place, an even older plaque bearing an Egyptian. We had no idea until years later, when the first of my... As a result of their deaths, we began to dig catacombs branching off from this cavern. Suddenly it made sense why there was an out-of-place Egyptian plaque among our people's possessions. You see, we proud Greeks had thought the Romans beasts for stealing and corrupting our heritage. But it turns out this game has been going... I think it is best you head through the catacombs and follow Kabash's trail. There are certain things you must see for yourself. Take this key. You'll need it to open the gate.
Куда?
I enjoyed our chat, but please, keep my presence here a secret, yes?
Yes. Вот бы сундук с миллиардом долларов найти.
Ah, you've returned.
Да ё-моё. Зря я лук, конечно, этот взял. А, вот что колесо делает. Зачем ты убираешь и достаешь? Ё-моё. Кого-то убивать придется. Это что такое?
Stop! Do not come any closer. Who are you? I am Kabash. And let me guess, another Greek. Trousers, boots, curious here. That is welcome news. You really are not Greek or Roman, are you? I was planning to return it myself, but here, take it.
Так просто.
Now, as for the other. Indeed, I have it right here. I stumbled across a collection of dusty curiosities while searching for a place to hide from the... You may not. In fact, I am about to destroy it. Because it speaks a treacherous blasphemer. I will tell you, but first, do you know what this place is? It has a name, and that is the Duat. See what has become of it. I have been down here for as Egypt declined and the Greeks had their turn to flourish. Their souls came here in great numbers when they found the obelisk bearing the name Osiris, the true god of the underworld. They desecrated it, removing even the ferryman of the dead, known to my people long before as Kerti. They renamed to Keron. As if that desecration was not enough, they built over this place, using it as the foundation for their own underworld, so that ours was forgotten. My only solace is that the Greeks then suffered the same fate when the Romans rose to. I am glad to hear it, which brings me to this other, fourth plaque. It is inscribed with a script I do not recognize, but it is ancient, almost as if it would imply the gods of Egypt, and that my people did to them what the... I sense a deception. Perhaps it is the... You will never know. This work of sacrilege must be destroyed. You are too late. It is done.
Козёл.
You would plunge into the depths of the Duat with no way back up. Madness. If it will help you to see... I am from Rakotis, which you may know as Alexandria, the name of the city the Greeks built over it, since the Romans had taken over from the Greeks. When the fires broke out last year, on my 7th trip, a passenger demanded I wait for his brother. But we were full. I told him his brother would have to save himself, and he tried to bribe me by placing a coin. I awoke on the banks of the river to a stranger wearing a ram headdress. He said it did not dawn on me until much later that he was the... This is where I belong, as care. I think if someone is to break the golden rule, due to the doer to... As for the punishment that will come from it, I finally understand. I do not know what could possibly lie beneath the underworld. All I know is it... Most... Good. Wait. You would plunge into the...
Нергал. Клинописный текст. Даже хз, что это вообще. Я слышал про них, но как-то в голове они даже не держались. Опять невидимая стена.
When I told you that you would not find a way back up, that was not a prediction. That was a promise. You will die here. I disagree. I warned you against coming down here, against perpetuating this sacrilege, but you persisted. You have undermined and dishonored the true god of the underworld. How did you think this would end, if not with bloodshed? Very well, I will listen, but if I sense deception, or if you further insult my gods, I will carry out my threat. So tell me, why should I let you live after you salvaged this instrument of blasphemy? Why? To what end? But why? What business could you have with Osiris?
Ну такие тени, что.
Blasphemous fool! You have sealed your own fate. Ha, good. I welcome it. You see, the philosopher told me that each time it breaks, Osiris bellows with rage, and his voice shakes the very foundations of the earth. I can only hope one more tremor will lay waste to this.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
А, да, отсюда камень приехал. Круто придумали. Я-то ожидал, что он сверху поедет. Давай еще попробуем. У меня много попыток.
I disagree. You what? Why? To what? But why?
Чё я в прошлый раз ответил? Вот это я, видимо, и ответил.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Ну, окей, про золотое правило. Сейчас я сказал, что всех отпущу, значит, ну, совру ему сейчас. Чё?
When I told that you what? What? But doubtful. What do you know about honoring? You speak the truth. Indeed, it seems we have all been deceived.
Наебал.
Many of my ancestors endured great hardship to live good. We prepared to have our hearts weighed on Anubis' scales and to swear ourselves in. And yet, I arrive here to find the Book of the Dead. Did our priests steal and embellish the stories of... I am not sure I found...
Больше 3 строчек.
Now you insult me and
Ой.
you have... I can...
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Какой неприятный тип.
When I told that you... What? Why? But that makes no sense. How would... Now that I think about it, my people would some... But the underworld of my people is so deep. Many of my ancestors endured great hardship. And yet did our...
Да как же ты достал?
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Да дают, я хочу разговором все решить. Я там Ну там в смысле бежать обратно, чтобы эту петлю перезапустить. Я хочу без перезапуска петли. Раз уж у меня тут такой сейф удобный.
Why? But men we and did our priests steal? I Perhaps there is some truth. You are persuasive. Very well. I will let you live. I will remain here
добился.
for a while and attempt to learn what
Не
I
очень
can
честно,
about
конечно.
the foundations of my people.
Ну я пошел. Это вот оттуда он говорил. Просто километр между нами, он что-то там бормотал. А Боб. Ну что, Егор? Ну, Егор, что? А, да, так тоже можно было. Ну, прикольно.
You've good to see you again, friend.
Ему нельзя сказать, ну ладно. Так. 3 скрижали есть, осталось только, чтоб на выборах победил этот чел. А как я это сделаю? Так. Что тут вообще? Понял. Так, а что за цистерна? Так, греческая скрижаль. Георгий, единственного местного грека. Давай вот это вот. Греческая скрижаль у этого придурка.
I'm sad. Am I going to die? Hello? You're going to let me out? Galerius already tried that. What about the rules? I don't want like, if you help make him magistrate, Hannibal said it was in the cisterns. I can't remember what it was, just that it was... Bye-bye.
И это ничего не дает. Я так и не понимаю, о каких цистернах речь, где их вообще найти. О, деньги. А где деньги? Я уже брал в этом цикле их. Убил. Так, окей. Так, ну я популяризировал, они же уже довольны им. Но мне нужно... Учела с камнем, бок. Главный храм. Это который там наверху, откуда чел падал? Вот тот? Или вот тот? Да ё-моё. Да, тупой лук, зачем я его взял? И он его не убирает. Я жму тройку, он его не убирает. Ну и бред. Так. О. Вот зачем нужен будет этот дурачок. Здорово.
Salve. Sorry, I'm still a bit out. Was there something you want? All right.
Так, надо как-то попасть вот сюда. А, это великий храм, в который хер попадешь. Ладно, значит потом. А это что за подстава? Там же дыра должна. Так.
Salve, friend. Welcome to life. We've all been where you. I used to lay. I still.
Так, ну это все я пробивал. Ладно. Так, в эту дверь, значит. Туда только с ключом вообще. Видимо, да. Но ключ мне этот дурачок даст. Так, избрание галереи. Так, это так. Значит, надо... Да. Изобретательный способ, погоди. Ща изобретем. Зачем вообще сюда дали запрыгнуть, если дальше прыгать нельзя? А, понял. Так, это проход там, дверь где-то тут. Мне сюда. Может, я и не найду изобретательный способ. Сизиф? Ну да, кстати, возможно. Мне вот интересно, когда статуи оживают, он роняет камень или нет? Так, ну, окей. Подожди, что? А как мне доказательства получить? Надеюсь, убийца для этого не нужен. А, да? Ну ладно. Блин, попробую сейчас, короче.
Citizen, we're finally alone. Is that? Seems rather brash, but you mean Duilius? Releasing him is out of the question, I'm afraid. Perhaps you're not aware he was caught. Look, I can see where you're going with this. You think me cruel. I assure you, that is... It was not so long ago, during the Republic. The law of the 12 tables would have required... Here, we see to it that he has food, water, and a privilege that would be taken away from all of us. Were he to be released, the man has no self-discipline, poor comprehension of what is going on around. I will not jeopardize the lives of my people, so...
Ну, говнёныш.
Ask then.
О. Жена вообще ничего не дала, никакого контакта.
Of course.
Ладно.
Why then?
Попробую еще раз с женщиной как-нибудь законтактировать. А это что такое?
Hey, you're not thinking about going into the cistern, are you? Nobody's told you about Hannibal? So, there was this guy called Hannibal, right? Funny accent. Used to go down one day, a few weeks back, he comes out and tells me, said he could hear spirits wailing. Of course, nobody believed him, because anyway, a few days later, he goes back in. So I go down after him, and it's dark, and hunched over him was something that made my blood run cold. A creature. Like a... What any sane person would have done. I legged it out of there, and put a... Whoa.
Что, просто вот так открыто и все? Знаешь, мне не нужен ключ от этого дурачка. Ага. Сначала осмотрим все. Блин, тут запутаться легко. Бесплатные деньги. Сюда. Это может и есть сокровище, о котором говорили. Может и нет. Ну ладно, видимо, тут я все осмотрел. А вот и изобретательный способ. Паркур. Так. Но я изобретатель. Опа. О, ачивка. Италиан Пламбер. Этот, как его, водопроводчик, типа к Марио отсылка.
found you. Do you know you're here? You have to help me escape before that monster comes back. I'm Centilla. I found a way out through the Gate of Horn, but it's locked. So I told him about it, and instead of helping me escape, he locked me up. He wants to keep us all here forever, or until we're turned to gold. He's a monster. You have to let me go so we can kill him and take his key. Sentius, my adoptive father. Furies, help me. I'll castrate and crucify him.
Так.
I don't know. He said the gods are on his side because they don't... Behind me, there's an aqueduct tunnel bringing water from outside the city, so it should lead us outside. The only problem is it's barred by a heavy locked gate, and he has the only key. I'm going to take that key from a... I'm done caring about the golden rule. There won't be enough time. Just you... There's no time. Wait, did you hear that? He's here. What? No. I hate you. I spit on you.
Так. Так.
You're back. What? It's no use. You'll never... You're making them...
Так. Но это не то сокровище, которое я искал. Подожди, он там внизу? А, я же сейчас сверху, точно. А где выход? Там? А, вот это вход, наверное. Ну окей. Ничего выбираться по такому пути длинному. А, там же вода. Так. Так, это, блин, не то, что я хотел. Не тот человек стал виноватым. Так бы я компромат на того придурка набрал. Это что за место? Так, ну-ка, узнаем. Я буду сейчас сохраняться, чтобы по новой не перезапустить каждый раз.
You've returned. Do you... Me? What are you talking about? You know, you remind me of him. Al Worth. The fellow who came through the portal before you. Surely you didn't think you were the only one here who remembered everything. You see, my connection to the portal somehow preserves my memories from one group to the next. Whether that was Proserpina's intention or a happy act, but I'm surprised you hadn't noticed. Here I was thinking you were a little bit sharp, but he was a moralistic fellow. Never one, and because of that fatal flaw, he relived this day many thousands of times. Before we finally had this, I watched him come through the portal each time, always a little older, a little... And when he finally saw the futility of it all, as you're about to, it broke him. he drank a jug of wine, tied a noose around his neck. The next time I awoke, you showed up. But I mean, you've lived through the day 6 times? Most impressive. And yet everything you've done has been...
Он бы, наверное, разное количество говорил.
Because there's no escape.
В зависимости от того, сколько я прошел.
The path he wrote about on his tablet. What was it? Ah, yes. Best to take your own life now. So, you discovered my secret. So what? What are you going to do about it? Why? Isn't it obvious? Because I have grown attached to all this. My title, and as long as this day keeps repeating itself, I get to enjoy it all. Over and over. I have found a way to prolong my life indefinitely. To cheat death. And why would I... You and your pathetic morality. Understand that, to me, you've never been... You might want to think that through. If anyone so... The only way you're getting this key, and if I die, You see, it was my actions that brought you to this point in time. So if that means if I die, you'll be flung back to your original time, having caused the deaths of everyone here, and you'll never be able to undo it. Is that what you want? I certainly hope not. In fact, I want it to go on and on forever, until you wither and die. What are you going to do? Beg the god? Now, get out of my villa. I'm...
Так, за этого гондона мы не голосуем. Так. Я мог даже до разговора первого с ним пойти туда. Интересно.
Don't believe a word they tell you. Shalom, friend.
А я не могу ему сказать, что я его подругу нашел.
All right, friend.
Неприятно. Так. Что как? Так, надо расспросить, где она.
You look well, my Sartorial friend.
Я могу... Как?
Truly, my imagination runs wild. But if what... Should I stop my offerings, though? Very well. Now, was there... I...
Так, так, так. Так.
Shiny.
Так, 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 так. Где ее найти можно?
A new face. Arve. Oh my. That. Let's see. If we don't have much to go on, except the old story. Hercules, Sisyphus, and fight. So it seems you have two.
Подожди, а как порасспрашивать-то, если...
Salve again, friend. I went and... How is it possible that you've... You're toying with me, right? Wait, you're a bit like... Sisyphus. Yeah, that's the one. Old King Sisyphus. Sisyphus was a Greek king a long time ago. For daring to think he was forced to push a great boulder up to the top of a hill. Only, just as it reached the top, it would roll, forcing him to start over and over and over again. Actually, now that I think about it, there are a bunch of old stories about the god. Tantalus was made to grasp at fruit on a tree he could never quite reach. The Pleiades had to keep fetching water and... Oh, and Ixion was strapped to a wheel going round and round forever. But, on the bright side, at least you're not stuck in the underworld like they all were. Anyway, I don't know which god you managed to upset to get yourself into this position. So, I'll tell you what. I'll keep doing whatever I can to help you. And you just focus on finding a way to... Oh, now, I'm going to keep your secret. Although, it's not as if I'll... Oh, and if our conversations ever start to annoy you, just tell me you're busy.
Сейчас надо подумать. Мне нужно найти компромат на того придурка, чтобы вот этот лысик был избран. И тогда я, в общем-то, победил. Ну, хороший мужик, да. Так, с тобой мне не о чем говорить. Что вот должно триггернуть жену этого чела, чтобы я с ней поговорить мог?
Malleolus isn't receiving visit. Whatever.
Даже нельзя флексануть перед ним, что я вышел живым оттуда. Так.
I'm not supposed to be. Domitius, come quick. This is outrageous.
Так, неужели я все напорол? И он что, реально придет? Ага. Спешит просто.
Do I need to call Domitius? Get out before I have Domitius.
Неприятно. Так, надеюсь, я немного успел сделать за 2 минуты. Так, сейчас, наверное, будет перерыв минут на 10-15. Трапезничный перерыв.
And if our conversations ever start to annoy you, just...
Так что пока что все.